Johnny here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Xbox once again because they are just the kings of having things to talk about. They're always dropping news, or they're always in the hot seat, and yeah, there's just always something to talk about. But today I want to focus on just where they're headed and like some of their future plans, especially regarding their presence at Gamescom and just overall looking at their release schedule for this year. And we're going to do a little fun thing and predict what their upcoming years could look like in terms of release schedule. If you guys love gaming, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you guys love video games like I do, consider subscribing. Appreciate any support you guys give me, especially on the video right here. But without further ado, let's get talking about Xbox. Now, as everybody almost knows, Gamescom is right around the corner. We are currently in the month of August, and Gamescom is supposed to happen from August, I do believe, like, it's like the last week of August, but not like, it's like in the August 20th. I don't know the specific day, but it's on the way. It's coming, and Xbox has already confirmed that they are going to have a huge presence. They're going to show up in a big way at Gamescom this year, as they typically do most years. But apparently, they're going to be going even bigger and better this year. And you know, whenever they announce that, everyone's like, okay, well, they say that every year. Yeah, they add a couple things. You know, they do a little bit more, but it's nothing too big. Well, they just pretty much went all out and just completely confirmed how big a presence they're actually going to have. And yeah, it's huge. It is huge with a lot of great stuff to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that. And yeah, Xbox Gamescom details. They already confirmed that we're going to have 50 plus games at their booth. And that's pretty much what we're talking about. We're talking about their booth. We don't know if they're going to show up in the actual, like, opening night live show, like the one that Jeff Keighley hosts. We don't know if they're going to be in that show anyway. I wouldn't be surprised. But this is just us talking about their booth at Gamescom. They're going to have 50 plus games. They're going to have a theater presentation for Avowed, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Starfield Shattered Space. It's going to be 3 days of live from the show floor broadcast on August 21st through the 23rd, and there's going to be an Xbox Fan Fest. Some of the games that they have confirmed to be there and will be playable is Age of Mythology Retold, Ara History Untold, Descenders 2, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, Dustborn, Fallout 76 Milepost Zero, Little Nightmares 3, The Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road, Towerborn, Replaced, Star Wars Outlaws, Ark 2, Space Marine 2, Atomfall, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, The Altars, and many, many more. So there's a lot of things to just go ahead and digest here. First of all, let's go ahead and talk 50 plus games. That's a lot of games, dude. That's like, how do you even have a big enough area to have 50 plus games available to be played? Like, that's amazing. And then we're gonna have a theater presentation for Avowed, Indiana Jones, Great Circle, and Starfield Shattered Space, and they're gonna have a fan fest. So let's talk about some of these 50 games first. Number one, I think the one that really caught my eye, and I know this is kind of a weird one of why this one caught my eye, but Little Nightmares 3. This one kind of just took me by surprise because Little Nightmares 3 did get delayed into 2025, I do believe, and we haven't seen the game since, I think, last year's Gamescom or last year's Summer Games Fest. It was last year. We haven't seen this game in a long time. And Little Nightmares 3 isn't an Xbox exclusive. It's not confirmed to be on Game Pass. Has nothing really to do with Xbox. But here is Xbox confirming that it's going to be playable at Gamescom. And I think that is shocking, to say the least, because I really love the Little Nightmares games. I think 1 and 2 are both fantastic, and I've been really, really excited to see more of Little Nightmares 3. It's definitely a game I'm going to jump on as soon as we get to see more, but it's just very odd to me, and it just really took me by surprise of why this game is actually here. But I'm not complaining. I'm all for it. Who knows, maybe it will show up at the actual event in Gamescom, and we could get maybe an early 2025 release date. That would be pretty awesome to me. Another one that really caught my eye was Replaced. Replaced is one of my most anticipated games right now. I just love the art style. I love everything that it's doing. And I obviously, we've waited a long time, but due to the studio's circumstances, obviously being a Ukrainian-based studio, patience has definitely been at an all-time high for this game and Stalker 2, which is also confirmed to be here. But the fact that it's going to be playable here is very heartwarming, and I'm very glad that people are going to be able to try this out. And yeah, maybe we could see some more information on that game as well. Now, another one that I'm going to talk about real quick is Ark 2. We haven't seen this game in forever. We don't even know what's going on with this game, but apparently it's going to be playable here. So, I don't know what that means for the game. Ark, obviously, is one of my favorite survival games ever. And I've been anticipating Ark 2, even though it's said to have a complete different gameplay change and different tone change. I'm still here for it. It's still Ark. It's still dinosaurs. I love it. But yeah, apparently this is also going to be playable here. So to me, those are the three that really stood out to me. I think other ones that are really interesting is Atomfall. That was just announced at the Xbox Showcase 2 months ago, and that's going to be playable right here. So I don't know what the release schedule or timing looks like for that game. Stalker 2 being playable is really, really cool. That's releasing later this year in November, day one in the Game Pass. Being able to play Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred is going to be really cool. Start getting the hype up for that. Recently just got back into Diablo and absolutely loving it. And Towerborn. Towerborn is an interesting one because we're actually going to talk about this a little bit later in the video, but we haven't heard anything about that in a while, and it's supposed to be releasing this year, so this could be a really good opportunity for that game as well. So what's really interesting about this current situation heading into Gamescom with Xbox is there are a lot of games that do not have release dates for Xbox. And we don't know a lot of games that are confirmed for 2024 for Xbox or day one into Game Pass. And when we were watching the Xbox show a couple months ago, they showed Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. They showed Avowed. They showed Starfield Shattered Space DLC. They showed a lot, but there was no release dates. No release dates for it. And everybody started wondering, why are we not giving release dates? This is your biggest show of the year. This is the biggest moment of your year. Biggest opportunity for advertisement, and you're not advertising the release date. Now, we all speculated either there was going to be like another developer direct, like in the next month. That didn't happen. And then there were a lot of speculations that maybe they're just holding off until Gamescom. And it does seem like, personally seems like that is what they're doing here. They're having a theater presentation for Avowed, Indiana Jones, and The Great Circle, and Starfield Shattered Space. I keep on saying Indiana Jones and The Great Circle like they're two separate games. No, Indiana Jones and The Great Circle and Starfield Shattered Space. All three of those are getting a theater presentation, and I would not be surprised if all three of those did get a release date. Now, we're going to talk about Avowed because there was recent rumors or leaks that point towards that maybe not actually releasing this year, and we'll talk about that. Hold up. All right. Future me here talking. I know you probably just witnessed a really weird cut, and the whole lighting changes because I'm recording this later in the night that I recorded this video, because at the time of editing the video you're watching right now, it was actually just confirmed by Xbox themselves that Avowed was delayed into early 2025 with a February 18th release date. I do think this is a great move, and I'm very, very excited for this. I think this is just going to help everything. Really, the only negative here about this change is this: people who are excited for it are going to have to wait a little bit longer. That's really the only negative I see out of this. I think it's a win-win in almost every scenario otherwise. But yeah, so I'm going to be mentioning the possibility of it getting delayed to 2025 a lot in this video. But just know that it has now officially been confirmed that it was delayed into February 18th of 2025. So, yep. Enjoy the rest of the video, guys, as well. But yeah, I do expect this to be the place where we do get the release dates for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and Starfield Shattered Space. We'll see about Avowed. They might just give a early 2025 release date, not an actual set in stone date yet. But I think something else to pay attention to is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a Disney-owned IP. And this week, at the time of recording this, there is actually D23 taking place, where Disney will hold a bunch of shows to give updates and have new announcements of all their different Disney stuff. And typically in the last couple years, there have been gaming information at the D23. Last year they had a whole Disney's game showcase. It was okay, but I do think possibly seeing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle at D23 isn't out of the realm of possibility. Do I think we'll get a release date at that? No, probably not. I think they'll definitely save the release date for Gamescom, but I do think it has a chance of showing up at D23. I'm gonna have a whole another video talking about what we could see at D23 in terms of games, but as far as Indiana Jones, that's where I'm at with that. So to help get us a bigger picture at what we could see in terms of information for these Xbox games, let's take a look at Xbox's 2024 roadmap / schedule. You have the World of Warcraft expansion releasing August 26th, so this month. Age of Mythology Retold releasing September 4th. Our History Untold September 24th. Diablo 4 DLC Vessel of Hatred October 8th. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 October 25th. Flight Simulator 24 November 19th. Stalker 2 November 20th. And then we have Starfield Shattered Space DLC, which was given a fall 2024 with no release date. Towerborn 2024. Indiana Jones 2024. Avowed, I guess it was confirmed for fall. I don't really recall it being confirmed for fall. But it was rumored to be pushed to 2025. So if we look at their release schedule, they have a lot. Are a lot of them big blockbuster games? No, I would say the big one for them is Call of Duty and Stalker 2 right now. If you add Indiana Jones to that, that's obviously going to be a huge hit. I think the Starfield DLC has a chance of being a pretty substantial release for them. And then Avowed obviously would also be another big release for them. But when you look at what they already have confirmed, they have 7 different projects / products releasing in the second half of this year, which we are currently in. And we have 4 games that have not gotten release dates at all that were originally planned for 2024. That being the Starfield DLC, Towerborn, Indiana Jones, and Avowed. I already talked about Starfield, Indiana Jones, and Avowed possibly getting shown at Gamescom and, them getting release dates. Starfield is rumored to get a fall release. The rumor right now is that it will be getting a September release. And Indiana Jones currently is rumored to be getting a December release date. Which means if you look at everything leading up to the rest of this year, we have August covered, we have September covered, we have October covered with Diablo and Call of Duty, 2 big franchises there. You have November covered with Flight Simulator and Stalker 2, which means you have Towerborn, which that is a smaller game. It's more of a second-party game, not really a first-party, but it's still considered an Xbox game at the current moment. Where is that going to fit in? Because every month kind of is covered except for December. I could see them fitting it in December, have two pretty good releases in December with Indiana Jones and Towerborn. I could definitely see that happening. But then you have the big problem with Avowed. That is a big game, and it's a new IP, and it's something that people haven't necessarily been over the moon for. There's a lot of excitement for it, me included. I'm very excited for Avowed, but with such a crowded schedule, and this is just Xbox we're talking about. There's third-party games galore. You have Dragon Age. You have Sonic X Shadows. You have Dead Rising. You have so much stuff. Mario and Luigi Brothership. You have Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. You have so many games releasing in the second half of the year. Where can you fit all these games? And that's where the rumor of Avowed getting pushed to 2025 lies. Because Avowed needs that space to really garner an audience and garner engagement and attention. And when it's put up against tons of games this holiday, it may not actually get that. And I think pushing it to 2025 is the right move here. we have plenty of things to look forward to when it comes to Xbox. This is an obvious. Now, whether you're excited for all these games or not, that's up to you. And I mean, me personally, I'm not even excited for all these games, but there's still plenty for me to enjoy. I'm looking forward to Diablo DLC. I'm looking forward to Call of Duty. I'm looking forward to Stalker 2. I'm looking forward to the Starfield DLC, Towerborn in Indiana Jones. I'd be willing to try Age of Mythology, and I'd be willing to try Flight Simulator for the heck of it. And I am excited for Avowed. That's a lot of games to be excited about just for one company. We're just talking about Xbox. There's so many other games that I'm going to have to be playing the rest of this year. I would love for Avowed to get pushed to early 2025. I don't know if that looks like January or February, but I do think this raises an even more interesting question. Xbox has said in the past that their end goal is to release a big AAA game, a big first-party AAA game every quarter of the year, meaning January to March, April to June, July to September, and then October to December. They haven't quite lived up to that promise, but they didn't say it was starting a year ago or 2 ago when he said it. He said down the line, that is their end goal. If Avowed gets pushed to 2025, that already confirms 4 big AAA games. Now, your definition of big or AAA games may vary, but if we look at the 4 games announced for 2025, assuming Avowed gets delayed to 2025, you have Doom: The Dark Ages, Avowed, Fable, and South of Midnight. Those are already 4 big games that will be releasing next year. There's a big theory and a lot of speculation that Doom: The Dark Ages is closer than we may expect, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is the first half of 2025. If Avowed gets pushed to early 2025, that will be their first quarter game. Doom will then be their second quarter game. Then I would imagine probably, I might actually say Fable will release before South of Midnight. I think that will come out in fall, just because I think they want to get that out a little bit earlier for the holiday, because I do think South of Midnight has a chance of being like a late November, maybe December game, and I do think they want to get it out a little bit before that. I'm thinking September or October, just to maximize their fall potential that most games want, especially since GTA 6 is rumored to be releasing late 2026. They do not want one of their biggest upcoming games, being Fable, to be completely overshadowed by GTA 6, and that goes for the industry as a whole. Nobody wants to compete with GTA 6 because it will be the biggest game of all time, and that's just a fact. And whenever that game releases, whatever month that game releases in is dedicated to GTA 6. There is no reality where there is a 4-month period, there's a 4-week period after GTA 6 comes out that everyone isn't talking about GTA 6. So I do think that is what their next year looks like if Avowed gets delayed to 2025, and I think this is a great decision. These are 4 games I'm very much looking forward to, and I do think these are 4 games that people will enjoy. Now, for the fun of it, let's take this 4 games every quarter theory. Let's put it to the test. What would 2026 look like? Well, currently there's a lot of speculation that Gears of War E-Day is sooner than expected. I wouldn't be surprised if that is 2026. There is also Perfect Dark. That was just shown off at the Xbox Showcase, and it was looking really good. Now, we don't know how early or late this game is right now, but I could see that releasing in 2026. Another game I could see is State of Decay 3. It's been in development for far too long, and we did also see that at the showcase. Wouldn't be surprised if that is there as well. And then we have Clockwork Revolution. Those are probably the 4 games I think are farthest along when it comes to the rest of their portfolio. And then the big thing here is that there's a big rumor that Xbox could be releasing their next console in 2026, getting ahead of the game. Normally, according to leaks, the next generation will start in 2028. But rumors have started circulating that Xbox is going to jump the gun. They're going to start a little bit earlier than Sony and PlayStation this time, and start it in 2026. I think pairing that with Gears of War E-Day, with Perfect Dark, stuff like that, will be a huge play for them. And I think that is the right play. I'm personally rooting for this route for Xbox to go. But if we have that, I do think State of Decay, Gears of War, Clockwork Revolution, and Perfect Dark will all be big games to come out that year. We have games like Outer Worlds 2, Everwild, Elder Scrolls 6, Blade, OD, Contraband, and the list kind of just goes on and on and on for first-party games. Elder Scrolls 6 could also be another 2026 release. I would imagine if they are doing the 2026 next Xbox release, I wouldn't be surprised if Gears of War and Elder Scrolls are their two big launch titles. That is an insane launch lineup for Xbox. But ladies and gentlemen, it's all going to start with Gamescom. We need to know when the release dates are for a lot of their upcoming big games this year. And we need to know what next year looks like. Is Avowed getting pushed to 2025? Because if so, that 4 quarters thing might start as soon as next year, and I'm super duper excited. One other thing to talk about for Xbox is there was just news today, like right before I started recording this, that Xbox internally has taken King developers and some, I think Activision or Blizzard developers, I'm not sure which one exactly, and they've basically formed a whole new studio within Blizzard to specifically work on AA games within the Blizzard IP portfolio. This is very interesting, and I think this is absolutely the right move. We've seen it with Nintendo's strategy. They're focusing on smaller AA games within a bunch of their franchises to work on a bunch of different IP. This will give games that require a shorter dev cycle and more opportunity to be creative and go outside of their comfort zone and just give us more variety. I think this is absolutely a W on their part. And to be specific, this is what it says. Xbox created a new studio within Blizzard from previous King employees to work on AA smaller games based on existing franchises within the Blizzard universes. So I don't know if this is Overwatch. I don't know if this is World of Warcraft. I don't know if this is Diablo. I don't know if this is StarCraft. StarCraft is probably the one I'm betting on right here. But who knows? And who knows? They may even take existing franchises from other companies like Activision, like Bethesda. Activision has a lot that they could work on some existing franchises, and I'd love to see it. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely like the comment section down below provided. What do you think Xbox is going to show at Gamescom? I would love to know. And I'll see you in the next one. Johnny Moore out. Peace.